Way of the Samurai is a cult classic series of samurai games where you play a wandering rōnin and decide who to help whenever you wander into a new location. If anyone, that is, as you make the decisions. And in turn, will determine what antics you get into along the way. While the earlier games were more serious, with some goofy moments, it was the fourth game in the series that killed the whole chance of a future by going Saints Row the Third, taking what was established and flushing it all down the potty humor toilet drain. So today, we'll take a look at how this series started with Way of the Samurai 1 for PlayStation 2, originally released in 2002. Yeah, this game is officially 21 years old now. To start, you have a basic character creation. Name, you choose your head, you choose your outfit, and weapons if you have any from the past playthroughs and whatnot. Depending on what endings you may or may not get, may or may not unlock the other heads and outfits. And that's all you get for character creation. It's very, very basic and very, very lacking. Afterwards, you begin, and the controls are dated, to say the least. I mean, I love old school Resident Evil, but this is worse than the original Resident Evil 1 on PlayStation via 1996, where you had to use the D-pad only to control everything. This game's camera loves to play against you alongside the controls, so depending on which direction the camera is pointing and everything, will determine the angle and direction of the controls. So if the camera switches on you, your controls switch on you too, and it causes you to wonk out. And this gets really bad with the combat. But anyways, let's get back to the game. When you start and figure out the controls, you wander across a bridge and you encounter a group of goons kidnapping a young woman. This may or may not be your first and last encounter, depending on your choices next. Do you choose to help the woman? Do you choose to try to side with the goons? Do you try to ask questions? Or do you just walk away? Depending on your choices will determine the path that you can take going forward, with branching paths leading to different endings. I chose to try to ask if I could join these guys, and instead I got hog-tied to train tracks straight out of Looney Tunes. After struggling for a while and doing my best to break a dance by doing the worm, I was rescued. I wanted to join this group called the Akadama clan for helping me, but I never made it in time to the headquarters. As time goes on, as you play, and you will miss out on certain things. This is the beauty and huge flaw to the series. If you're not careful, you can get locked out of the entire ending you were going for and get the worst one. Well, besides death, which gives you nothing. So because I screwed up and missed the meeting in the evening at their headquarters, I chose to roam around and see what I could get into. I tried to fight the guys who tried to kill me with the train earlier, but the guy was just too strong, and thankfully I can beg for forgiveness and have him back off so I didn't die here, because I was very close to dying. And that's another thing about this game. Everything has consequences of some kind. One moment you think you're a badass and you're gonna win, that you're an elite samurai, but then reality comes back to bite you in the ass. Then afterwards, I found the restaurant with the woman who was kidnapped earlier. She recognizes me as a bad person, and her friend, this black man named Don, threatens me. Yes, black samurai. Yes, Afro samurai, for those of you who are old enough to know that one.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I apologized and got on good terms with the two. I even helped defend the restaurant from the corrupt Kuro family. Afterwards, I wandered around till evening, where I had to fight a corrupt policeman. Since he relies on a pistol, you know that means he's weak. After slicing him up for a little bit, he decides to call his muscle in to fight for him, while shooting me in the back. What a bitch. After slaying Dumbo, he runs away like a coward. Later on, at night, I found Suzu, the woman from earlier, who needed me to rescue Dawn, standing outside the restaurant. Apparently, Dawn ran off to the headquarters of the Kuro family, who once ruled the area with an iron grip, but the Japanese government is intervening. I was supposed to sneak in here, but given this game's limitations and clunky nature, I didn't. Instead, I tried running through the whole thing to find Dawn, but had to fight my way through in the end, barely alive, relying on the worst swords imaginable from the corpses of my enemies, because your weapons have durability and they can and will break, to which at that point you can either try to get them repaired at the blacksmith, or you can just toss them and try to get a new one from an enemy's corpse. And eventually I did find Dawn, who decided to try to sneak in here in order to steal a money chest, because he wanted to give to Suzu so she could start a new life far away from this corrupt area. But I ended up getting killed because there's no healing items lying around, you have no inventory, and Dawn was useless as hell. He did not fight at all. I had to fight, and I ended up paying the price because of it. There are a total of 6 endings in the game, but I failed to get a single one, as I struggled with the game's horrible controls, dated combat that was fleshed out in later games. It also doesn't help you that you have no inventory in the game. Unlike in later entries, this means you won't be able to carry healing items or stones to repair your blade, so that way you don't have to worry about it being destroyed. And there's barely any healing items lying around in the world, but there's a lot of mushrooms, but the mushrooms are deadly. They will take away your health, and they can indeed kill you. And as much as some people might like shrooms, this isn't the rōnin experience. This makes the game suck horribly, because you have no way to try to salvage anything as you're struggling to get by, because how can you play anything when the enemies can easily gain up on you and kill you, and you got no healing items lying around in the world and no inventory to carry healing items? You can only carry 3 weapons, and they can easily break, and at that point you're fucked, just like the score I'm giving this game.
Alright, I gotta leave, okay?
John, we just started. Come on, man.
Listen, there's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
I was honestly hoping the game was going to be good. After enjoying Way of the Samurai 2, then playing 4 on the PS3 before it came to PC alongside the 3rd game, I just find those ones more enjoyable, more acceptable, more approachable. So to find the first game so mediocre leaves a bit of sorrow in my heart. But hey, there's 3 sequels, all of which are better, though the 4th one is still my least personal favorite, and my favorite is still the 3rd game. Anyways, that's it. See you guys later. I'm not sure what I'll do for March, but for the rest of February, it's just going to be a couple of playthrough videos, and then after that, I'll figure something out for next month. I'm not sure if I want to cover the rest of Way of the Samurai, or work on House of the Dead 2. Still deciding on everything. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for sticking around, and hope to see you guys next time. Bye.